Hello friends, I welcome you all in one more knowledgeable interesting video. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you that why it is important to check AIS, TIS and Form 26AS before filing of income tax return. See, now what is AIS, TIS and Form 26AS? These are the documents which contains the details of your financial transactions, right? The information of which is already there with the income tax department. Now the next question is that how these documents will be generated and what kind of transactions are there to be reported in these AIS, TIS and 26AS, right? See, how these documents will be generated. See, there are many institutions who used to provide details of your PAN to the income tax department. Like your bank is reporting the details of your saving interest and FDR interest to the income tax department. If you made any transaction for sale purchase of any of the immovable property during the financial year, then the registrar will file a return which contains the details of your property transactions on your PAN. Next is, if you have a demat account and you entered into transactions of dealing into shares, securities, mutual funds, then that service provider with which you hold demat, right, the CDSL, right, so these institutions file return with the income tax department which contains such details of your shares, mutual funds, right. So these are the type of transactions that used to be reported in Form 26AS, AIS, TIS, right. And most importantly, the advance tax payments and other tax payments will also going to be reflected in AIS statement from this year onwards. Now, see, if you are filing income tax return by yourself, right, there are a lot of taxpayers who used to file their income tax return by themselves, especially the salaried class taxpayers. If you are filing it by yourself, then please don't forget to check your AIS, TIS and 26AS before filing, before compiling data for income tax return, right. If you are taking help of any professional like a CA or an advocate in getting your income tax return filed, then that CA or that advocate must check your AIS, TIS and Form 26AS, and you must ensure that the entire details, entire financial transactions must be incorporated in your income tax return, whatever is reflecting in AIS, TIS or Form 26AS, right. You must report the transactions at least at the level of AIS, TIS or Form 26AS. Rather, you can even report the higher value of the transaction, but it should not be less than what is reflecting in AIS, TIS and Form 26AS, right. Now, the critical question is that what will happen if I will going to miss the transactions which are already reflecting in AIS, TIS, but I forget to report or somehow I miss those transactions in my income tax return. What will happen now? See, now you have multiple options. If you have time limit for revision of your income tax return, then please try to revise your income tax return. If the time limit allows you, incorporate that transactions in an income tax return, pay the balance tax along with the interest. This is the one option. Next option is, if the time limit for your revision of the income tax return has expired, then you can go for filing of the updated return. Include that transaction which somehow mistakenly left out or you escaped that transaction, then report that transaction in your updated return, right. If the time limit for updated return has also expired, then what the remedy available to you is that pay the tax along with the interest and preserve the tax challan with you, right. And it will going to safeguard you from the future penalties and future consequences, penal provisions that income tax department will levy on you. And then after a few months of time period, you may receive notices for scrutiny assessment or for income escaping assessment, because the department will not going to find that transaction in your income tax return. So department seems that you had not paid the tax and you have concealed the income and here you have evaded the tax, right. So these are the consequences that will happen to you if you will not report proper transactions in your income tax return. And I also shared with you that what are the remedies available to you if you miss that, the time limit for revision expired, the time limit for updated return has expired, then you just pay the tax along with the interest, right, and buy the piece. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any query relating to ITR filing, AIS, TIS, 26As, or any of the provisions of Income Tax Act 1961, then you can post your query in the comment box. We will try to resolve your query at the earliest. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. Thank you. Bye.